Hi there, welcome to the channel. So in this video, I'll be going through a list of business ideas that are applicable for the Zimbabwean market. I've done some partial or initial validation of the ideas by looking at the numbers and looking at the potential market should you get into this any one of these business lines. So the idea behind this is just to give insight into what is possible on the Zimbabwean market. So as we go through it, I plan to make this a series. I've got quite a list of business ideas that I'm going to be batching up into a list that we go through from time to time in between the different videos that I have on this channel. So these businesses have got potential to make at least $1,000 a month or per cycle, depending on what business it is, as we are going to look to see as we go through the businesses. So if you're looking for business ideas for Zimbabwe, this might give you a leg up concerning what could potentially work out on the Zimbabwean market. So the first business is sourcing and selling of seasonal indigenous produce. So the opportunity here is selling seasonal wild produce. This includes fruits and vegetables that are not available in urban areas. So the business itself is to go out and source the wild produce from the countryside and sell to urban markets. Examples of this produce would include fruit such as majanje, tsuvu, and even wild mushroom that are found in certain parts of the country. So even as I'm doing this filming, we're in the season of mushroom. There's a lot of wild mushroom that is available, in certain parts of the country, which are highly in demand in urban areas of Zimbabwe. So that's what I mean by, sourcing seasonal indigenous fruits and vegetables for the urban market. So the market here are the roadside high traffic locations in urban areas, as well as mass markets such as Mbare, Sakuva, or Mtapa in Gwero. So basically what you'll be doing in this business idea is to go out and source this produce and bring it to market. You can either go directly to certain points around the city. For example, if it's in Harare, you look for high trafficked areas. There are areas and points alongside the roads in Harare where you are going to be having 5, 15, 20 or even 25,000 vehicles passing per day. So these are the typical areas that you would market this produce, or you can even take it to Mbare where it's sold by the bucket. So to get started with this business, you will need transport plus sourcing, financing, which is basically something that you can even fund out of pocket. If you've got your own truck, it's a matter of identifying where you find the produce and driving there and organizing the local community to pick up the majanje or to pick up the wild mushroom, and then you bring it back to the city or to the urban areas for the market. So the potential revenue for this business will be between $3,000 to $6,000 per season, according to my calculations. And this depends on the type of produce that you are bringing to the urban market, as well as the number of loads that you will do during the season. So let's look at an example of this business. You could go out and collect majanje, which is also known as the wild locust fruit. That's the English name. This is found in many parts of the country. You're looking at Murewa, you're looking at Wedza, Mutare, Chimanimani, and Nyanga. So urban centers around these locations where the fruit is found are potential markets, or you could even bring it to Harare if the numbers permit distance-wise. So if you've got a 2-ton truck and you go out to collect majanje and fill it to capacity and come back to the city, for example, to Harare, where they sell on the roadside, you're going to make $3,000 in revenue. And if you do this twice in a season, it's going to make you $6,000. So the strategy here is to catch the start of the season where demand is high. Usually what happens with this produce is that at the beginning of the season, there's a lot of demand. If you're to use the same example of majanje, a lot of people will be looking forward to them. They'll be missing them. And once they start appearing on the season, a lot of people start buying them, and they move very fast. So this allows you to do a quick turnaround and possibly go and get another load, before the prices begin to fall. And because the market begins to flood, as well as, just interest. People can lose interest and even ignore them as the season progresses because they would have had enough at the beginning. So the strategy here is to attack the market at the beginning of the season and then do as maximum loads at that period of time before everyone else comes to the market. So You can also draw up a list of wild produce and their seasons. So this will basically show you that you have got a busy year, because there are different fruits that occur throughout the year right here in Zimbabwe. So you could also put into the mix other non-indigenous seasonal fruits which are found in certain areas of the country. For example, in Manicaland, there are a lot of lychees that are produced there. This used to be more or less like an exotic fruit, but as more and more homesteads began to grow these because of the favorable climate, these are available in abundance in these areas in Manicaland. So you can also do a truckload and send them to Harare, to Mbaremsika, or to sell on the roadside, because the same fruit in the supermarkets will be maybe ×2 or ×3 the price. So there's an opportunity there to sell even the non-indigenous seasonal fruits when they're in abundance. Next is the paid business mentorship. The opportunity here is to provide hands-on mentorship to new entrepreneurs in your business sector or your niche. So the business is to provide a paid mentorship or training program where you bring in people or mentees under your leadership to train them in different business aspects in a particular niche. So the market includes new market entries and business owners. So you could do this if you're in manufacturing, if you're in retail, and if you're in hardware, for example, and even transport, because these sectors typically need some form of insider insight and experience to be able to launch successfully. So there's an opportunity to offer a paid mentorship program here. People would say, well, it's going to expose my business to a lot of competition. But in my opinion, gatekeeping in these types of sectors doesn't help, because there are always people coming in and going out. So by actually not doing this type of program, paid program, you are in fact leaving money on the table. You are leaving an opportunity to monetize your knowledge, to monetize your experience and other aspects of your business. So the startup cost for this type of opportunity, which by the way applies to people who are already in business with something to give, the startup cost for this idea would be your time in social media marketing, and the potential revenue, according to my calculations, will be 1,500 per mentee, depending on industry or sector and the demand. So your fee is guided by how lucrative the sector is. For example, if you're running a hardware business, you may open it up to a mentorship program where you take 5 or 10 mentees at a time to take them through the business processes, and they pay the $1,500 fee. So you could even go the charging by module, so that people can buy the specific modules that they're interested in, and they come into your business and learn around those modules. So the strategy here is to offer real value for money. You really need to be offering value where people appreciate what you're offering and they actually get results out of it. So the program has to be results oriented. Okay, next up is the diaspora services. So the opportunity here is to address diaspora service pain points. These are basically centered around scarcity of good quality, reliable professional services here in Zimbabwe. So you find that there are situations where individuals in the diaspora cannot even trust relatives and friends to help with certain services that they may need on the ground. So the business here is to provide high quality professional on the ground support services. For example, in the construction sector, you can help with the bringing support services for house building. In the social services, you've got safe homes for children, you've got medications, purchases, you've got even grocery shopping. These are all opportunities that could apply to the diaspora market. So, yes, the market is diaspora that respects professionalism, quality, and value for money. So the startup cost for this business, depending on the service, will be internet access. So you can look at the Starlink video that I did. This is a great opportunity, especially if you're in areas where there's still capacity. You can get your very cheap Starlink, very efficient to run this business at $30 per month. You will need also social media ads. You also need a basic website. This is essential for the diaspora market that is exposed to high quality services that are offered through the internet. So a website will be ideal or even essential for this type of service. So let's look at the potential revenue for this business idea. You could make as much as $1,500 per month offering diaspora services, depending on the niche that you would have picked on. For example, if you are to do construction where you give support on the ground for people who are building their houses, so you could say you can do once-off gigs, for example, at between $50 to $100 per run, depending on the location or distance where you are supposed to go and look at the project. So you can do monthly retainer fees as well, say $200 times 5 sites, depending on the project size. There's a lot that happens on construction sites. There's an opportunity for you, just to fill that gap and deal with the pain point that someone who's trying to build from afar typically encounters. So you are the trusted person, so you become the one who validates things on the ground and verifies that specific things have been done, and you become a very trustworthy professional service provider to your clients. So the strategy here is to deliver high-level professional service and be a dependable service provider and very reliable. So this is an opportunity for those that have been wondering, they want to come back home and say, what do I do when I come back to Zim? So there's an opportunity to come and use your experience abroad and offer support to fellow Zimbabweans who are still in the diaspora as an ex-diasporian yourself. Okay, next is the vermiculture and vermicompost business. So the opportunity here is the growing demand for organically grown food. So the business, it will be breeding and selling of composting worms and compost at scale for the domestic and commercial market. So your market here would be home gardeners, commercial farmers. The setup cost is warm stock as well as beans and physical space to do the farming. So the revenue potential is at least $1,000 per month. For example, if you are breeding the type of worms called red wiggler worms, these are very effective and very efficient for composting to produce organic matter that is used for composting. These are selling right now in Zimbabwe for those who are doing them for $50 per kg. So if you've got 20 kgs of worms for sale and you're selling them at $50 each, that is going to be $1,000. So this is done by creating a network with farmers and promoting your business on social media. So this is really a farming business opportunity. Elsewhere in the world it's taking off. Here in Zimbabwe, people are waking up to the problems with synthetic fertilizers and in terms of health as well as the quality of food. It's very nice food that is grown using organic material as produced by this type of worms called red wiggler worms. There are also others like African night crawlers, but it's actually a farming enterprise to be breeding these worms and producing them for the market, the worms themselves as well as the compost. So breeding is more profitable in agriculture than selling the produce as it were. And another thing about this business is that the worms themselves, they multiply quickly, such that if you start with a huge stock, within a year you'll be producing at scale and potentially running a very lucrative business. So the strategy here is to start small, start a home bin and learn the ropes, then scale to commercial level. It's quite straightforward. It's a low maintenance type of thing, type of business, because the worms just needs to get the organic matter to feed on and then they produce fertilizer for you. So this is the list of businesses that I have to share with you in this video. What do you think? Which one would you pick? Which one would you go for? Let me know what you think in the comments and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.